Very beautiful numbers, 2.7%. What is this? Inflation numbers. Now, Kenya's inflation fell to 2.7 year-on-year in October, rather, down from 3.6% a month earlier, as revealed by Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. On a month-to-month basis, October inflation was 0.2%. The same actually from the previous month. And I want to bring Ken. Our inflation band ranges from 2.5 safety to 7.5. And we've been going low and low. Now we are almost hitting the 2.5. Now we are at 2.7%. What does this mean at the ground level?
The central bank tries to target 5% inflation. And I think a good analogy of inflation is your human body temperature. You say your human body temperature should be 37.5. Now, if it goes to 40 degrees, it means you have a fever. If it goes to 33 degrees, it means you're also unwell. So the central bank tries to target 5%. For an economy like Kenya, it's recommended that 5% inflation is the ideal place to be. Now, over the last few months, it's been coming down. We were at 4.4, down to 3.6, now down to 2.7. So it's starting now to get into a worrisome area where it means the economy is cooling down. We are slowly approaching the lower band. We're about to breach it. And now you'll start getting fears of deflation. When you start going to 1%, it means now you're getting closer and closer to deflation, which also has damaging effects on the economy.
What damaging effects?
If you look at the problem with deflation, it means prices are falling. So let's say now, for example, you wanted to buy a car today. You say, what's the point of buying the car today when you can buy it in 6 months when the price of that vehicle has come down? Now, if everybody has the same approach, where nobody wants to spend today because expectations are in the next 3 to 6 months, prices will come down, it means you don't have any transactions. So everybody is holding on cash. Everybody's expecting prices to fall, so there's no activity happening. So you end up getting into a downward spiral. And that's a situation that Japan got stuck in for about 10 years. Japan have something called the lost decade, where they lost 10 years, where prices were falling, and it actually becomes very, very difficult to manage the economy. So it's not something that is as well studied as the problems of high inflation. And I think if you look at countries like Japan, they offer a very good case study on what can happen.
Okay, definitely. That's quite interesting. And you marry that with the cost of living, because when you mention prices will be falling if you continue on the same trajectory, then it seems merry, but as you've explained, it's not as merry. But how do you marry that with the current economic situation, especially when the government has this, role that it's gone very heavy on tax collection, and especially people in the formal sector, tax, when you're given your payslip, it looks so different. How does that sit in deflation?
Actually, that's at the heart of the problem. When you have such low levels of inflation, it means Kenyans don't have money in their pockets. They don't have purchasing power. And that's precisely because of the huge taxations we see, where somebody who earns 50,000 shillings is taking home 39,000 shillings. Obviously, that person now has limited purchasing power and is unable to spend. And because of that limited spending, that's why you start seeing prices starting to fall. So it's tied to our fiscal policy, the huge deductions from SHIF, affordable housing, and how they affect people's purchasing power.
Definitely. Very important. Our second number of the day, 2.7. All right?